So, UFC 280 was full of drama from start to finish. Some controversial decisions in there, some fights that should have gone one way but went the other way. But the main event left no doubts in the people's minds as Islam Makhachev submitted Charles Oliveira in the second round to win the UFC Lightweight Championship. Now, let me start off by saying this and admit that I was in fact wrong. My prediction for the main event was not on point, and I would also like to admit that I did say that Islam Makhachev's power might not be an issue for Charles Oliveira in this fight because we all have seen Charles get back up after getting knocked down by the likes of Michael Chandler and others in his recent fights. But I was completely wrong. Islam Makhachev's power is what got him the victory in that fight, and Islam proved that he might not be able to hit as hard as Khabib did, but Makhachev is way more capable of landing a punch and winning a fight all by himself. And that is exactly what happened here. In the first round of that fight, Islam completely dominated Charles. Matter of fact, he dominated Charles throughout the entire fight. There was not a single moment in that fight where Oliveira looked comfortable, and there was not a single moment in that fight where he found himself an opening. He was never allowed any sort of space by Islam Makhachev from start to finish. In the first round, Makhachev gave Oliveira a dose of his own power when he connected with a huge left hand that busted Charles right here. And in the first round itself, Makhachev proved why there are levels to this game when it comes to his grappling. Not only did he have a superior ground control time over Charles, but he made that first takedown look so easy. He just got a hold of Charles Oliveira and took him down just like that. He made it look so simple. And later in the first round itself, of course, Islam once again made it look so easy when he casually tripped Charles Oliveira and took him down despite his back being against the cage. Despite Charles Oliveira being in a more comprehensive position from that clinch, Islam Makhachev made it look that simple. Even when it did seem for one moment that Charles Oliveira might get the upper hand in this fight, Islam just casually tripped him and took him down. It's just that simple for him in that fight. Like his takedown abilities is on a different level right now. His takedown game is just on a different level. It's class above from the rest of the lightweight division. It's just as simple as that. On top of that, Oliveira has such good jiu-jitsu, but that pressure from Makhachev while he was dominating Charles on the ground, while Charles's back was against the mat, was immense. Islam never gave opportunity to Charles Oliveira to make any sort of adjustments on the ground. Oliveira's jiu-jitsu and his ground game was completely neutralized throughout that entire fight. Now, in the second round itself, and this is where Islam Makhachev completely proved me wrong. I had said that Charles's boxing was going to be superior, and if he had maintained a certain range, he had the chance of winning this fight. Obviously, Oliveira didn't maintain a certain range, rather, he preferred fighting in Islam's own range, which saw Islam get another takedown early in the second round. I mean, even from the clinch, Makhachev was hitting Charles with knees and mixing it up nicely with kicks. During the stand up exchanges, Makhachev was inviting Charles in his own range, in his own distance, and that is what led to the big knockdown for Makhachev that got him the win. Oliveira went for a knee strike from the close range. He missed it, and he got caught with a swinging right hand from Islam Makhachev that dropped him. From there onwards, Makhachev pretty much had this fight in the bag. He caught the arm triangle, and Oliveira had no other option but to submit. Eventually, it all came down to Islam Makhachev's power, and the one thing that I never thought would be the difference maker in this fight eventually made all the difference in the world. So yeah, congratulations to Islam Makhachev. Congratulations to Khabib and his entire team. Of course, we have a new lightweight champion with Islam winning the vacant championship, of course, and I feel that Makhachev is going to be the lightweight champion for a very, very long time. It's likely that he's going to fight Alexander Volkanovski next, who of course came into the octagon after he was invited by Daniel Cormier during Makhachev's post-fight octagon interview. Volk is aiming to become a double champion. He's the current featherweight champion, of course. And yeah, Makhachev versus Volk should be a really, really interesting fight. But the way Islam turned up today, I just don't think anybody is beating him anytime soon. Regardless of that fighter coming up from the featherweight division, regardless of that fighter being currently in the lightweight division, I just don't think Makhachev is getting beaten anytime soon. But yeah, at the end of the day, MMA is a very, very unpredictable sport. Who would have thought Charles Oliveira would get dominated like this in a title fight? I mean, especially after what Charles did in his last few fights. I mean, for him to go out there to get completely dominated for the entire 2 rounds, that was just completely unexpected. Anyway, that's it for this quick UFC 280 main event review and instant reaction from me. And what an insane pay-per-view it was, start to finish. I mean, really, some of the most memorable moments in UFC in 2022, of course. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights tonight, and hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. I would really appreciate if you guys could hit that like button and if you could subscribe to the channel as well. It really helps me a lot. It motivates me a lot in making these videos as well. Matter of fact, I'm currently making this video at 4 a.m. just after finishing UFC 280. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video.